How many Gungans does it take to change a light bulb? No, I don't know. Dude, they're Gungans. I don't care. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today we're going to talk about counters that you need for 3v3 in the current meta. It's a crazy world out there, folks. There's a lot of new Datacrons, and I'm going to show you at least a few ideas on how to beat them. Early counters that hopefully are going to be applicable. So please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button or, you know, mount the algorithm. But we gotta go, guys. We don't have time. We have no time for this. So, first, the new Bo-Katan. How does the new Bo-Katan do? So remember the old Bo-Katan. Well, I mean, she's the same old one, but she doesn't have her cool cron that lets her just auto-kill people with a basic. So what I discovered, I did this twice. I have 2 different accounts, and I also have a few video clips from other people's accounts. But the big thing is, okay, so this one had the Omicron on her lead, so you can see the revive on IG-12, but they don't have the crazy they don't have the crazy cron that just auto kills them, and Traya just takes them out. I mean, it takes a while. You're not going to do enough damage to actually kill them, but you see, you take out Bo-Katan, and then just bide your time. And we were actually wondering about this with his crazy move at the end. Like, you kill Paz, and then he does his like, FU parting shot, and you know, he like revives for 1 second and stuff. So the question was, if you annihilate him, does he just go away? And the answer is yes. Very yes. He just goes away. So, alright, we're going to do a fast forward on this one. You can see they did enough damage on Nihilus early that I was able to just immediately kill Paz. This is on my smaller account, so I have way smaller number of relics. And this is also against a version with Sabine, which I think is not optimized. I think you definitely want you want IG-12 there, or maybe Bam, but definitely not Sabine, frankly. And that's not shade on my opponent, except for the fact that they made a really bad choice and they should never do that again. So, all right, now how do you kill the new Reva? This is look at how many look at how many assists they all have, folks. This is pretty nutty. So how are you gonna kill Inquisition? That's a tricky thing, folks. It's a very challenging circumstance, but so Malak last season worked really nice against the Inquisition team that had all of the, gosh, I missed so much on this. Accuracy down is only minus 15% accuracy, and I still missed. But last time they were able to hit really hard. They had the Empire Cron where they got rid of some of their defense in exchange for a bunch of offense, which is really effective. And instead now they have a specific Datacron for the Inquisition. So this one was with the full Datacron, the really good one. I decided to use Malgus here with Malak and Darth Revan, and it just takes a while, man, especially if Malgus is missing his 15%. And you'll actually see, I think it happens twice. It's really cool. You guys will just love it. It's one of my favorite things that has ever happened. I was like, guys, if this could happen to me every time, that would just be so good. Everyone kind of just agreed with me. So, you know. Anyways. Sarcasm aside. Look at that. She missed again. I guess she has a little extra dodge, doesn't she? She has a little more evade, but still. Those big hits from Malgus missing are really painful. Okay, so we killed the ads. It took us about 3 minutes to do that, and now it's like, okay, we gotta kill third sister, and we'll do it easy. Okay, we killed her 1 time, and that was really early on. We only have to kill her a couple more times, and then you can see we're fast forwarding it because nothing happens really. And I actually got her down to red a few times, and this is a testament to my opponent having good modding and everything, but I don't even think this was a thick cron, actually. I don't think that she had the extra health and protection. So it seems like maybe this isn't the right answer to him. I did one huge jump at the very end that they never showed us the the results. What a bunch of jerks. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered, honestly. Okay, so I did this on my alt. My alt opponent, actually, he had way bigger account than my main account opponent, which was so crazy, but he had way worse mods, which is, you know, something that happens from time to time. And so I was like, all right, we're gonna do this again. This one did have the thick cron, but they didn't have the good level 6 on the Datacron for Reva. It was Reva level 9, but it wasn't, and it also was 8th brother, which is inferior to 7th sister, of course. But you could see that Darth Revan did die early, so maybe it was superior. I don't know, or maybe it was better just to have Darth Revan gone, honestly. But you can see we're just fast forwarding here, and over time they did actually manage to kill Reva, I think. Decided to start controlling it a little bit because she counters every time, guys. Every single time she counters, and it's real irritating. She's kind of just an obnoxious person in the show, and then you play her in the game, and she's equally obnoxious. They were like, how can we make this lore accurate? They found a way, folks. Life finds a way. Got her. Okay, so this is footage from my buddy Solo Base 15, and this is using Inquisition for himself on Gungans. This is, you can see, Relic 9 on Phalanx, Relic 9 on Jar Jar. I'm guessing Relic 9 on Nas, Nasty Nas, and so, you know, Solo's got good Inquisition and everything. He's my podcast co-host. You guys can go check out the podcast in the video description. It's linked, or, I mean, you can do that, and you can also watch me play live on Twitch, folks. I did a lot of this stuff, not this particular fight, but I did a lot of this fight on Twitch, and so you can see a lot of what he was doing. Like, he managed to kill that shield generator pretty quick. I think this was, if I had to guess, I think this was like Jar Jar level 9 instead of the Boss Nass one. So you know, use this with a grain of salt, of course. I also saw a really sketchy General Skywalker counter, which it was like, gosh, you're almost lost to Relic 5 Gungans, dude. That doesn't look very promising, but anyways, Gungans are kind of an enigma. Use caution, folks. See, the Eternal Emperor doesn't even beat them, actually. So, okay, we've got Keller and Beck, and this is the only version that I really faced. So, you know, Kiedi Mundi plus Snips, and, you know, I like Snips a lot. She's pretty neat, but she's also, she's not the best version of this team, frankly. So, yeah, we've got, if you take Jedi Revan here, pretty easy to kill one kind of overpowered character with the Keller and Beck squad. Killing 2 is maybe beyond what Jedi Revan can do, unless he has some pretty major reinforcements. But this is pretty consistent, I think. I did this a couple times last season. I just wanted to re-show it. And now, okay, this is a really interesting one, guys. So Qui-Gon with the PadObi, you can see he's Relic 8, and he does a lot of damage hitting back, which you'll see. But the thing that's interesting about this to me is, yes, well, I guess it's the newer cron, but we're using we're using Dark Trooper Moff Gideon now, where he doesn't have a cron anymore, and so like, we're still thick enough that we're able to survive Anakin's tantrums. And honestly, I can understand why he's having a tantrum. He's on Tatooine again. He's not a big fan of the stuff underneath his feet, so he just let us kill him. It was understandable. But watch the hit back. Look at how close my Relic 9 Dark Trooper Moff Gideon came to just getting pummeled to death by Padawan Obi-Wan. Man, it's crazy. So actually, watch this. Watch, so this is by, we have a few different videos from Overcast, and I feel bad that this is going to be the first one that you guys see, because the other ones are actually fairly brilliant, but you can see Sidious with the Sidious cron doing his thing, you know, just doing it, you know, he's doing fine. He's fine, guys. Totally fine. This is actually a prescribed counter a lot of times. Usually this works against Qui-Gon. Watch him hit Padawan Obi-Wan, and he just WTF pones him, man. Just ruins him. I don't know. I was just fairly impressed by Padawan Obi. So okay, now this is against a Relic 9, very well modded, against a guy who does, you know, he plays territory. Is it a territory war guild? So he's gonna have a really good Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team. And I decided to use my own Relic 7, somewhat sketchy Sidious, and Dark Trooper Moff Gideon doesn't have his crazy Datacron anymore, and I got a 59. It's madness. It was wonderful and madness, both at the same time. Now, okay, the backstory to this, folks, let me pause for just 1 second. The backstory to this Zori team is I couldn't kill it with anything. I tried, there was like 3 teams I tried. Like, I used a Dash team that did not work. I used a Night Sisters team that got overpowered. I used, what was the other one? Star Killer. I used an EP Star Killer team that didn't work. And this team was starting to be a fairly big issue, honestly. And so I decided that they didn't have the level 6 that makes you kill, that makes you hurt all of their health. And so I decided I was just going to use my Jedi Master Luke team. Now, if they did have that, I would take Mace here instead of Hoda, because even though Mace could be targeted, and that might not be great, he would also reveal Zori and her from her stealth, so that you could actually do enough damage to actually hurt her health, and then you could, you know, have everyone else eligible for death. So, anyways, they didn't have that, so we just used Jedi Cal here. And, you know, he assassinated Hondo, in which case we kind of broke their hold. Now, I liked this one by Overcast, though. He uses, remember, we don't have the really crazy cron for Bo-Katan anymore. He does have 3 Omicrons on his Bo-Katan, but his opponent had pretty good relics on most of the fights that I saw. But remember, he got 3 Omicrons, so he's able to target outside of taunt. The problem being, you can see that Zori is just hanging out there, and you can see the blue effect over her head. That means that you can't kill anyone on the team until you get that blue effect off of everyone. The only way you get rid of that is if you cause damage to some health on that character. And so you know, you have to be less than 100% health, and so she's just in stealth constantly. And the only way you really make that happen with Zori, with this particular comp, is you can see you're using the 3rd ability with IG-12, and that dispels all buffs and puts blind on all of them. The problem was with the first one, and this isn't me criticizing Overcast, this is me just almost just really sympathizing. He didn't time it right, or it wasn't really capable. It wasn't possible to time right. Yeah, okay. And then once she was actually pokes her head out, she's able to get killed. But he did the blind, and then Zori took a turn and just went into stealth again. It was very saucy of her. It was very impressive. So, anyways, once you finally make that happen, it seems like that might be pretty consistent, guys. Here's how I used my Bo-Katan. People are keep asking me, like, how are you going to use Bo-Katan? What does she actually kill? And I think I demonstrated already. You probably don't want Bo-Katan on defense. I mean, maybe, but it seems like the AI doesn't do the very best with her, and she's fairly flexible on offense right now. So right now, one of the big teams is the bonus damage team. Okay, so not the bonus damage, this Rex team with the bonus mitigation. Like, you only take 75%. You take 75% less damage if you have some turn meter, or 50% turn meter. So you can see they actually killed Paz with their Rexecute. And then he comes back because I had the I had the Omicron on her lead. And so immediately Paz just comes back and he sets them on fire, barbecues them, and then you're able to just go in and take out the other Rex. This wasn't that stressful, guys. It was a pretty good use of Bo-Katan Mandalore. Okay, so now I mean this is kind of an older team at this point, but I wanted to show you guys this just in case you kind of forgot that there's probably a few different counters. But if you can use Jedi Revan here, you can see I stunned one of them. One of them, of course, is going to come back because he's the guy who's taunting and he dispels all of his debuffs on himself immediately. But as long as you can just target Mace or Maul, you can just take him out. It's not too big of a deal. Now you'll see in a minute, ISC has it will get damage immunity, but you can kind of bypass that. Gar has the same thing. You can kind of bypass that though by Jedi Revan just marking whoever, and they have buff immunity, so you just take out Gar, no problem, and then Mace can dispel with his special and call it good. All right, so this is a Grievous with STAP, and I just happen. I mean, you guys gonna have this team available to kill Grievous every time? Almost certainly not, but wanted to show you guys that it's really easy if you happen to have it available. Now I wanted to show you this, not that this team is that difficult, I just thought it was an interesting thing, guys. You know, and I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard, but I do like the idea of being able to be a little flexible with teams, and so I didn't have Dash, and I was like, man, I wish my Hondo was available, and then I was like, oh man, okay, here's what we can do. Why don't we try Aphra with BT1, but then to fight this Dash team, but then we can just use Hondo here. So let's take Dash hostage because he's the one who's doing damage. I don't know if my opponent thought that IG-11 was gonna pre-taunt or what, but you know, being able to hold one third of your opponent's team hostage for a little bit while still doing stuff on your own is, I don't know, that's a pretty big deal. And then, you know, if you have your guys well modded or whatever, then, you know, relict, then it's really not a big deal to do that much damage. So, okay, one quick reminder, folks, this is on my alt account, so against a really, you can see Relic 9 on all of them, tons of GP, but, I didn't put Maul here. It wasn't a scary team, and so you can say I put the Armor Shred on Ninth Sister. They don't have Maul, so I don't have to worry about having. I don't need Beskar Mando. I could just use original Mando and have him snipe out Royal Guard, and then you know, Fennec is able to make quick work of Ninth Sister, the Horn Chinian, and then you put Armor Shred. And Fennec just kicks Lord Vader in the nuts several times till he dies, and I don't blame him for that. Okay, people ask me how to do this counter all the time, and so I thought I'd just show you one example at least. Okay, this is with Cal. This is the scariest version of Rey. Of course, we're using Starkiller because Starkiller gives you twice. He gives you double protection and health. Amazing ability to give to this already fairly resilient team. You really want to focus down Cal, guys. If you can kill Cal early on, which that one was a really strong one. Keep in mind, this is on my alt, and the guy had like Relic 9 on Cal, and he had him modded for pure health and tenacity, which are the scariest combo by far. It was a remarkably well situated character. And then okay, you can see that let me pause for 1 second, guys. Malicos didn't have 20 stacks, so he just did his basic. You don't want to do his special until you have 20 stacks, because if you don't have 20 stacks, it won't reset. Like, he doesn't immediately get turn meter and get another turn to throw rocks. You really want that combo. So you just do basics, and then he just does 3 basics anyways. It's fairly impressive. She was in yellow, so then Cere was open to be able to throw her saber, and then she got a saber thrown at her, and we got through it. 53, not too bad. Okay, this is the final one, guys. This is a crazy one. This is by Overcast again. He used STAP with Grievous. He does the Datacron. He has the Omicron. And this is against, Relic 9, Leia, with, you know, all the good stuff. And so we used, what, B1 as the third, which is cool. I haven't tried that yet, but I haven't had the opportunity to kill a Leia with a STAP team. And I'm guessing Overcast had all of his characters Relic 8 or higher as well. So, you know, fairly well-endowed team, but still... you know, still taking on a fairly strong team as well. And you just take out Leia first, apparently, and that's it. It's crazy. In 3s, you can just take out Leia. I don't know. It's crazy to me, folks. All right. So hoping this would be a little under 20 minutes. Obviously a little over, but this is it, folks. Hope this was helpful. Hope this is something that you can share with your guild, and, you know, look for the timestamps, all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xerath prevails. Have a good one, folks.